presented by YouTube TV. Ryan Rucco alongside the Professor Kirk Goldsberry, Tim Legler with you, hanging out, getting ready for Game 4. 2-1 series lead for the Thunder after that historic win in Game 3 for Minnesota. Kirk, I know Julius Randle, a guy you really focused on at the start of this game.
Well, Game 2, he was a no-show. I think he had his playoff low. In fact, I know he did with 6 points. Then he comes back in Game 3. The Wolves are plus 38. That's the highest number he's ever had in his whole career, Ryan. If he can keep doing that, they got a chance.
And Legs, for you, you're looking at SGA, right?
Look, it's no secret that every team targets him and try to take away the areas of the floor that he loves to succeed. Few teams could pull it off. Minnesota did. Lowest scoring game of the year, only 4 free throw attempts. I know the game got out of hand. That skews his numbers a little bit. But I'm really curious to see his response personally against what Minnesota did to him in Game 3.
Yeah, you've gone 105 straight games with at least
We're on the way. Here we go.
That includes the regular season and playoffs. Before that, 14-point performance in Game 3. So here we go. Minnesota OKC. Wow. Dort took a heck of a screen from Gobert, who can't finish the dunk. Holmgren a factor defensively. Here's J-Dub connecting on a 3. That's a good start for the Thunder.
And we talked about it in the beginning. What was going to be different at OKC? Did you see the ball pressure on that first possession? Anthony Edwards had to go out to almost 45 feet just to receive the pass because Lou Dort was overplaying.
Randle buries the J.
And again, like said this last game, when he moves fast, it's good. When he holds the ball and the thing stops, it's bad. That was a very quick move. A good sign for the Wolves.
28 in Game 1, 6 in Game 2, 24 in Game 3. How about Jalen Williams off to an aggressive start here?
Always nice to get that first wide open look from the perimeter. He knocks down the 3, and now he gets into a mid-range jumper.
Fading away, that one will drop for McDaniels.
Oh, wow.
By the way, the Thunder this season, 15-2 when following a loss as Williams forced that one up. Could not get it to go, and it's going to be Minnesota basketball. That 15-2 record following a loss, that would be the best, that is, as of now, the best by any team since the 86-87 Lakers, who were 18-2. That was the first of back-to-back titles for the Lakers. Conley rims out on a 3. Jalen Williams had 3 field goals all of Game 3, has 2 already early in Game 4. SGA fires, no. Holmgren able to track it, dips inside for the easy finish.
I think OKC's got really good energy here at the start. You know, the one thing you can't manufacture is desperation. Oklahoma City was not feeling the same level of desperation that Minnesota was in Game 3. They aren't tonight either. But we showed you the data, how they respond typically to losing a game. That's why you expect them to be up on their toes tonight. Early on, it looks like they are.
A lot of contact here.
Oh my goodness! I mean, how does Hardenstein not get called for a foul on the left hand there? Wrapping around Randle. You know, Minnesota was feeling much better about the whistle they got in Game 3. As Conley, who's had the best plus-minus in the series for the Timberwolves, buries the 3.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. He's had a great start to this series. Maybe not on the box score, but his impact is getting the offense going.
Here's Dort. Short. J-Dub fakes the 3. Dort thought about it. Into the lane, and he gets fouled by McDaniels. Free throws here for Lou Dort.
Yeah, McDaniels has got to save those fouls for SGA. You can't be fouling Lou Dort on a drive.
I can't think. You can count on one hand the number of times that Lou Dort has head faked from the three-point line and driven into 15 feet for a mid-range jumper. It's just not what he does. He'll occasionally get something in transition or a slash or an offense rebound, and then it's a three-point shot. So what he just did so uncharacteristic, and you're right, to that point, you got to be more disciplined than that if you're Jaden McDaniels.
Can I give you guys another, I thought, just interesting stat after a 40-point loss? So, we had talked about how no team, thanks to Alan Hahn's text to your legs, and Darren Ayotte, our outstanding researcher, had gotten on it. No team has ever lost a game by 40 in a playoff run in which they went on to win a championship. However, teams that lose a playoff game by 40 plus are 9-13 in the following game, which I'd say that's a pretty good win percentage
Better than you'd expect.
for teams that have losing by 40 plus.
You think you lose by 40, you're treading into
Yeah.
deep water here.
Right, and
But you're almost 500, like
Yeah.
just under 500 in the next game.
Exactly, and the Thunder have already made history. First team to win and lose a game by 40 plus in the same playoffs in NBA history.
That'd be good.
Just a completely mistargeted pass, and McDaniels able to take advantage for the stuff and the foul.
And another stunning stat from that game 3, Ryan, was it was the
So now
first
it's
time
well, this is
all year
pretty
that
interesting. It
Oklahoma City
says
had
EA Sports
lost
Level 24 feature Reese Davis, who has been confirmed to be leading against was the game.
Minnesota
Previously
seems to
worked
be
on the
bringing it
game
this end again.
with the
With a
other
live ball turnover, turning that into
commentators. I'm sorry,
points.
ESPN commentators like Chris
Convert
Bonner,
these when
Greg
you
Robertson,
can against
Jesse
the Thunder.
Foreman,
They
and
did a
Jimmy
great job
Thomas.
here.
Right, that was
Additionally,
something they had
Brad
exclusively won
Coulard,
against
Greg Olson,
Minnesota and
Jake
had won
Scott,
big in the first two
and
games
Scott
of the
Hansen
series.
have been added
not
to
the
the
case in
commentary
game three.
team. Fitz Fowler has also been noted
completes the three-point play.
to be re-recording some of his lines from last season.
53-20 advantage. and points
Wow.
off turnovers
All
in
right.
the first
Well,
half. How about Williams?
Yeah, and you could see on that defensive possession that Minnesota, to start off, was right up the edge of the lane on both sides of the floor. And as a result, Jalen Williams comes off a pin down. There's nobody near him. Their focus clearly, priority number 1, 2, and 3 probably, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And they're willing to live with some of these perimeter shots by other guys.
Randall gives it up. Conley gets it off. Put it on the rim. Nothing more. And Oklahoma City secures.
Jalen Williams stuff, he's already got more, as many field goals in this game as he had in game 3 in less than 4 minutes.
Here's Dort. Way off. And it's out of bounds. Last touch, Minnesota. Holmgren has been a thorn in the side of Minnesota all series, but especially these first 4 minutes tonight on the interior.
Yeah, very active early in the game. You saw another wide open 3 by Dort there again because Minnesota, it's just they're so far off of the perimeter supporting cast around Shai that these are going to be shots that are going to be there all night, and we'll see if Oklahoma City can shoot a much better percentage than we did in game 3.
Edwards and McDaniels able to combine on the steal. Saw the hot disc around Williams as Randall misses that 3 badly. Gobert keeps it alive. Conley is cold, gives it up. McDaniels got the roll. A reminder, a hot disc for anyone shooting 60% or better, or with 3 or more straight makes. Cold, 35% or worse, or 3 or more straight misses as Dort drops that one in. Guys, might we be on track for a tight game tonight? We have an outstanding back-and-forth start here in the first.
Could you get a bigger contrast with the first 3 of this series?
Oh, my goodness.
In the Eastern Conference Finals, which have all been nail-biters. Haven't had one in this series yet.
Gobert's been great early, setting really good screens and some big rebounds. That's another player to watch. When he's playing well, Minnesota's playing well.
That jumper gets the roll.
Very quiet start for him, so no, he's very relieved to get that roll right now. And it's going to be an interesting chess match to see what they do against this stacked defense from Minnesota in the paint.
We also have not seen a field goal attempt yet from Anthony Edwards, who came out blazing in the first quarter of game 3 at 16 points. Saw him get out in transition, saw him aggressive from beyond the arc. Wow. SGA using the body right into
So it's
Gobert.
You see the difference on that? The screen
Yep,
that
so
he
the
got,
answer
Gobert was
is
so high on the floor,
yes.
and everybody else was
While
spread out
looking,
toward the
EA Sports
line.
Level 26,
There's nobody back
announces
there,
part
and
of
then
the
becomes a
viewing
foot race,
voice
and
for the
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander
game
clearly is
additionally
gonna
in
win
match
that.
Minnesota
Get that to the
All
glass
Pro
before
Rookie
Gobert can
Visitors.
react to it.
Minnesota turns it over. Here comes Shea now with a red disc. Hartenstein. Giving it up to J-Dub, guarded by Randall. J-Dub. Holmgren gets the step, and then
Wow.
Gobert eliminates it.
Look out there. Oh, wow. Timeout already by Oklahoma City Thunder.
How about McDaniels virtually led?
Oh,
This is what
boy.
OKC typically does to you. Minnesota setting the tone early.
We'll be right back right after this.